Hi again, Cavalier fans. I'm Dan Ramey. Time now for the Cavalier Coaches Corner. Brought to you by our friends at Young's Family Market, ATI Physical Therapy, Southern Ohio Monument Services, Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing, and the Kingston National Bank. Coming up, we'll meet some of the coaches and the players on the Cavalier Coaches Corner.
Signs and Screen Printing in Central Center can customize t-shirts, banners, posters, vinyl lettering for your car or truck, and they can embroider logos for your school or business. It's time to show your team's spirit. And from Adina to Zane Trace, Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing has all the team colors. And of course, your Chillicothe Cavalier blue and white. So stop on into the shop in Central Center and see for yourself. Or visit Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing online and place your order today.
Kingston National Bank was founded in 1909 by local businessmen. The concept of a local bank supporting our community's financial needs with local decisions made sense. This is Phil Evans, President and CEO of Kingston National Bank. I invite you to make KNB your bank. We continue to make local decisions that benefit our communities. Experience innovative products and excellent customer service. When you need us most, you can count on KNB. Our community, your bank. Kingston National Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Young's Family Market is family-owned and operated. M.L. Young founded the grocery store in 1936, and now a second generation of Youngs, Brad, Susan, and their children now operate the business. To also serve the surrounding area, the Youngs opened a second location in Kingston, Ohio back in 2014, making shopping easy by offering everything you need, including beer and wine, all under one roof. No more running all over town making numerous stops to get everything on your list. Instead, visit our store and find it all. We offer fresh, high-quality products for affordable prices. It's the Young's Family Market, serving the Laurelville, Ohio community for more than 60 years.
Hi, I'm Angie with ATI Physical Therapy located in Chillicothe. If pain or injury prevent you from doing what you love, let ATI Physical Therapy get you back. Whether it's back to work or back to your play, ATI's energetic and motivating team is ready to help you begin your road to recovery. We will craft a personalized treatment plan incorporating the appropriate techniques for your condition. Stop by our Chillicothe location for a complimentary injury screening or visit atipt.com for a location near you.
Southern Ohio Monument Company believes remembering a loved one after they're gone can be as personalized as when they were here. With over 400 in-stock monuments to choose from, there are shapes and sizes to match nearly everyone's personality, helping your loved one make a lasting impression. Southern Ohio Monument Company on East Main Street in downtown Chillicothe. Open weekdays 8 to 5 and Saturdays 8 to 1. Southern Ohio Monument Company, proud sponsor of the Cavaliers. Welcome to our next edition of the Cavalier Coaches Corner. I'm Dan Ramey, and this week on the show, along with Cavalier Tom McClaskey, we've got Coach Ron Hinton and Coach Eddie Johnson. Well, the Cavaliers 5-1 of the season, 1-0, off to a good start in the Frontier Athletic Conference, and this game has always been called a game of inches, and it came down to 12 in particular this past Friday night at Hillsboro. 36-30 win for the Cavaliers over the Indians, and this was a heavyweight bout, Coach. It was like one guy was knocking at the other the whole night long.
Well, it was, they played, they upped their game quite a bit, we thought. We didn't realize, they were physically that big of young men. I mean, they physically were just big young men.
Yeah.
Okay? We went through another truly physical battle. And again, you're right, it was a heavyweight battle. It was a boys' game. It was a man's game. Okay, it was just basically a slugfest is what it was. It's amazing, though, because last week, the week before, defense, special teams won the game. All right, offense spit and sputtered, didn't get much done. This week, it's offense and special teams won the game. Defense played well. But we got trucked. And truck means they ran over us. Okay, they had more people at point of attack. They did some nice old school stuff. I've known Jack O'Rourke for a long time. His dad was a very good coach, a great coach at Blanchester for years. Jack coached down in Benton County. He had those great teams in Benton County back in the 90s. He's done a great job with them. Of course, it doesn't hurt one of their big defensive tackles and stuff moved in from Mississippi. You know, we don't seem to get those kind of kids. They seem like they go all around us, but never give them to us. And he was quite a young man inside to handle. And he's only a junior. That's the worst thing. We have to deal with him again next year. But you know, for our kids again to go out and play in a game like that, to again find a way to win. We were physically outmatched. You know, physically, like I said, physically outmatched, and we just different things that we did throughout the game to keep it going. Well, we had a chance to put her on ice in the fourth quarter, where you talk about game of inches. You know, we were down inside the 1 yard line, about 2 foot line, and they said, well, we could kick a field goal and make it 2 scores, put us up 4 points. I said, guys, I've been coaching 46 years. I've never kicked a field goal from the 2 foot line. Okay, and I'm not going to start now. And daggone, we kind of got discombobulated, and they stopped us. Let's just say that. Okay, then they went on a 99 2/3 yards drive to score, to go ahead of us. Okay, all right, but then our kids come right back though. Then you know, and answered. The only thing the defensive staff was growling that we scored too fast. Okay, but again, special teams set it up, kickoff return. We could not believe they kicked the ball deep to us. The only thing that saved them was Jaquan had this, he kind of tilted out of bounds. If he could have got himself uprighted and pulled back in, he'd have taken the ball about 70, 75 yards to score. Okay, but they didn't tackle him. He just he got bumped and he had to slide outside a little bit, and he was tiptoeing down the sideline, just couldn't quite get his shoulders back in to keep him up, keep him in where he's kind of drifted out of bounds. It just wasn't, it couldn't happen. It didn't happen.
Had he done that, he'd have had over 300 yards rushing.
Well, the returns don't really count for rushes, but he still did pretty good.
That was on a return.
Yeah, it was on a return. It was on a kickoff return. But you know, he had I think 2 kickoff returns for 60-some yards. He rushed for 240. He caught 66 yards in passes. You know, we moved him from receiver to the running back. It was a great move on my staff's part because now he touched the ball. We ran the ball 24 times, caught it 3, so basically he almost touched the ball 30 times. Before in the ball game, he was only touched it maybe 10, which we kept saying that we were not getting the ball to him in the right positions, the right way, well enough. So our offensive line played well. There was only 1 punt in the game. We punted the ball once. They didn't punt it once at all. And probably the slickest play, and it caught us all setting. They run old time. They would do what's kind of double tight. They have 3 guys behind on the punt. 3 guys behind. It was 4th down. We probably should have been in a safe position, playing and run all the way. All right, run and pass. And now we're about to kick the ball. Okay, we don't care how far it rolls. Make sure they don't fake.
Not even put a return man back.
No, and we did. We still played safe up front, but we put a return man back. Anyways, they have a guy he's stacked, and when the ball's kicked, he goes to the middle of the block. Well, then, what happened was then he kind of started halfway in between. They direct snapped the ball to him. He kind of stepped over like he's going to the right, and he kind of was almost wasn't like Fumblerooski, but he kind of slipped the ball into the guy's pocket, standing there, and then he come out the back door, and daggone him about 25 yards. You know, great play, great call. We did not prepare ourselves well enough. I mean, it's one of those things you don't practice against. We haven't saw it, but that's about an old school play.
Is it in your playbook now?
No, it's an old school play, but I guarantee you, next time we'll line up and we'll care. You kick the ball, we'll take it. Because again, they were on the 20, coach. They're inside of 30.
They were inside their 10 when they faked it.
Okay, all right. So the ball would have been the short side of 50 anyways, no matter what happened. Even a great punt. All right, and then on the grass, the ball wasn't going to roll that far anyways. So that kept their drive alive. The only negative part you'd probably say for the whole night for us was we had 14 penalties for 140 yards. All right, which is way too many. But it seemed like most of the penalties came from their sidelines towards us, not from our sidelines in. It came from their sidelines towards us. And we had one phantom tackle out of bounds. That we got a late hit call on, and we got late hit because we hit each other. Our kids hit each other. We got a late hit call on that.
Don't see that very often, do you?
No. And then we had one other one we talked about a chop block that we said that the referee farthest from the ball called the penalty on the last scrimmage. You know, he's 15, 18 yard, 20 yards from the last scrimmage. He called the penalty on the last scrimmage. And we questioned that at halftime. We got a little lecture on a young man that lectured some old coaches on what should be done and how he thinks should be done. I almost said, listen, son, I've been coaching heck how long you've been alive, so don't sit there, but anyways, again, hey, give our kids credit. They found another way to win. You take us 3 weeks, 3 times now this year, they found a way to win. And it just seemed like they were just, they just got big plays after big plays. Like on the last drive, they ran fullback, 12 yards, boom. Clock stops, fullback again, 11 yards. So they're getting big chunks of yards, the clock's not running, basically. Okay, because the clock stops and they get a first down. But then once they got to the 50, then we start slowing them down with they only get 1, 2 or 3 yards on first down. Then it'll be second and 6, second and 7. Then they get 2 or 3 yards again. Now it's third down. All right, so now the clock's running. Okay, so the clock was forcing them to then they just can't go methodical. All right, like that there, and then we get down at the end, we make a great play, make a great stop, get to a fourth down, and somehow we forget to go cover the wide receiver. But luckily Jaquan Harris made a great play. He ran over there and got an interference call, but made a great play on it. And then the last play, he was about 2 foot or 3, almost a yard away. He got hit to 5. He stumbled, tried to reach for the end zone, and where the ball was placed was about a yard away. But still, it was too close for comfort. And we kind of thought at the end, and the officials kind of stopped us from coming on the field and celebrate. We're thinking, okay, did they get a first down? No. But then all of a sudden they realized that then they held the ball up so the game's over. We thought for a minute they were giving an untimed down. We thought, how are they going to get down? But some great performances out of our kids. Offensive line played. Coach Johnson's offensive line probably played the best they played this year. Adrian Beverly had probably his best game of the year. Matt Deddy, super on the kicking. Kept him in long field situations. Especially the last one after we scored, we had an offside call, and Matt turned around, put it in the end zone again, 5 yards back, put it in the end zone again. It made him go 80 yards. Those things are played out huge throughout the whole night.
3 Cavalier wins this year. One, the offense had to win it late. The other came down to a special team stop at Logan. And then this past week came down to a defensive stop. So all 3 phases of your game, Coach, have helped you to a 5-1 season.
Well, we'll take it. But we're physically beat up right now. We've got a lot of bumps and bruises. We were really grasping for straws at the end of the game because we lost like 5 kids during the game. We lost Cortland Duncan. We lost Christian Benson. We lost Zach Coates. Okay. All right. We lost those guys. Chris Postich was beat up, from the last 3 weeks, and he got planted. Pat Rourke has been hurt, and things. So we were really scrambling for bodies to get on the field with that, and our coaches were hustling to get the special teams, make sure they're all covered. Get enough guys, receivers. I know we scored 1 or got an extra point, but only 10 guys on the field offensively, but at least we're on the right side of the ball offensively to get lined up to do it in the right formation to do that with. And the thing we got stopped on, we messed up the first play. Second play, we didn't get in the right formation. Third play, we really wrong guy touched the ball. And then fourth down, we had a mistake. And again, things we got to correct coaching-wise. Yeah. We won't blame on the kids. We got to correct coaching-wise to be more efficient, do more things. But all in all, it was an exciting night. I mean, nobody left, let's say that for sure.
We want to take a look at the offensive notes that we have here tonight, and that's with Coach Johnson.
Right, so our offensive back of the week against Hillsboro was J.J. Harris and Adrian Beverly. J.J. rushed for 240 yards, averaged 9 yards a carry, which is tremendous.
Pretty easy pick this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Offensive linemen were Casey Crawford, Nick Ursland, Ray Byers, and Bryce Valentine. Go ahead and since I'm on the offensive line, we'll go and go to pancakes, which I like to talk about. So Bradley Reinhardt had 2, Cortland Duncan had 1, Casey Crawford had 6, Caleb Workman had 1, Bryce had 2, Nick Ursuline had 1, Derek Lewis had 1, and Ray Byers had 2, which is probably the most we've had all year. And like Coach said, the offensive line, probably the best game they played all year, which we needed them to.
Oh, yeah.
So, and from here on out, they've got to play well. Then second efforts, which when they do their assignment and then do more, that's how they get a second effort. Bryce Valentine had 8, Caleb Workman had 9, Bradley Reinhardt had 6, Casey Crawford had 9, Nick Ursuline had 9, and J.J. Harris had 8. So, I mean, that's some major stats for a great week against Hillsborough.
And that's huge in such a physical contest.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, like I said, the offensive line just played tremendous, especially after Zach Coates went down early in the third quarter. I mean, the offensive line had to take control of the game, and that's what they did. So, very proud of them.
That's where you got to protect the quarterback, create some holes for the running back.
Right.
And if you decide to pass the ball, then you got to make sure you give him plenty of time to throw.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, we went from 30 yards rushing against Logan to 300 yards rushing against Hillsborough. We went from 100 yards against Logan to 400 yards against Hillsborough. Now, I still consider Hillsborough a much better football team, but we played. It was just different. Adrian Beverly, again, he threw 3 touchdown passes, 40 plus to Jaquan, a nice one on a post pattern to Zach, and our screen we've scored on almost every week. Back to Zach again to score, and he probably had his best rushing game of the year. Also, he had some big runs late in the second half. We did some things that formation wise stuff, and he did. He got on the edge and did some nice things rushing. He was 4 for 7 for 100 yards passing. We have really one legit drop, so really been 5 for 7. We threw for 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, to me, that's a perfect night for my quarterback. That's a perfect night.
Those are Amanda Clear Creek numbers, Coach.
No, we never got 100 yards. I mean, that was no. And we were tried ball to 5 times. That was huge. But that was right. I mean, he did the right things, for us like that. And we changed some things, took some rehab, but helped quite a bit.
Decision making is getting better.
Yes, really was.
Yeah.
Now, I've got the defensive stats tonight since Coach Johnson's really an offensive. He's actually a defensive line coach also. But, I mean, Chris Poach had another great game, 18 tackles. Nick Ursuline had 15. Pat Rourke had 11 again, a down tackle. But Pat probably does not want Pat's particular good games. I mean, they were good up front. I mean, they were really good up front. Colin Lindsay had 10. DeAndre Howell had a very good game. He had 7 tackles. McKellen Lee 8 from his secondary. Cameron Cook had 2 or 3 big plays plus an interception again. Ran a guy down, got loose. 12 tackles. Jaquan Harris 4. Zach Coates 8. Joey Wright 10. So those were big things. Tackles for loss. Ursuline had 2. Pat Rourke had 2. QB Hurries. Ursuline had 1. Jade Manish had 1. An interception. Then Cameron Cook again got another one this week. Another big play. And Zach Coates got another one. So we did a lot of great things on that. Even though we give up 420 some yards offense and never forced the punt, we still just when you face a 260-pound fullback, a 230-pound tailback, and the way they run and the way those cats up front block, and they've got extra guys up front. They're not trying to go outside. They're just they're going, here we come, guys. That was super. McKellen Lee and Jaquan both had, I think, almost 60 yards in kickoff returns. McKellen was really close to breaking one. Also another kickoff return with that. So, again, our special teams were super. For us, players of the week, defensive lineman was Pat Rourke and Colin Lindsay. Our linebackers was Postage and Ursuline. And our defensive back of the week was Cameron Cook. Our specialty players this week was Jaquan on his kickoff returns, McKellen kickoff returns, and Matt Deddy with his kicking. Those are all big plays that we made. To be 5-1, be a 5-0 team. To be at 1-0 and the fact is great. There's 3 teams tied for 1, 3 teams tied for 2nd. Us, Jackson, and Greenfield are tied for 1st right now this week, and the rest are looking up trying to catch us.
it wasn't too long ago, folks in Pittsburgh can remember when the wheels in the bus went round and round, and Hillsborough had a lot of that on their offensive side of the ball this past weekend. Well, now it's getting ready for the McLean Tigers. We'll talk about them in just a bit. But before we go to the break, JV picked up a win over Hillsborough, and you were there.
Yeah. JV won 28-12. It was a slow start, though. They fell behind 12-0 through really the defense only gave up 6 points. Offensively, we threw a pick six early. I think we were a little tired of that bus trip back the night before. But 12-0 at half, and then Coach Camps, Coach Dreer, Coach Adams, and Coach Powda made some big-time adjustments at halftime. And the offense, it was just like light switched complete opposite direction in the second half. I mean, put up 28 points. I think Cam Smith had 2 big touchdowns. Jaden Kane had a rushing touchdown. I think
2 touchdown passes.
Yeah, threw 2 touchdown passes, and then Hunter Thomas had a big rushing touchdown. So in the offensive line at the JV levels really coming a long ways since the beginning of the season. Have a lot of first-year players there that are starting to play very well. Defensively, Cade Williams and Dominic Nunziato had big games, and Xavier Doss and Keon Williams had a big game in the secondary.
With the number of seniors they have on that offensive line, that's going to be very important.
Right, absolutely. Hardy's starting to look for guys to fill in for next year.
Yeah.
So we still have a long way to go, but they are getting better, which is awesome.
Job's never done.
Yeah.
We didn't know, Dan, we moved to number 3 this week. We're tied for 3rd in our region. We went from 6th to tied for 3rd. And we hope that we are really in 4th right now because number 3 plays LaSalle. Number 4 will play Troy. We'll play Troy, okay. So play LaSalle, okay. Well, I mean, you can be number 3. We'll be number 4. We'll concede that.
But either way, it's a home game.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes. Both our junior highs won against Hillsborough. The 7th grade, I believe, won 30-0. The 8th grade won 29-0 in a shortened game because I didn't ask. I forgot to ask the coaches how their kids were. They had 2 kids, actually 3 kids. 2 quarterbacks got hurt, seriously hurt. One was taken to Children's Hospital with a neck injury. Another one went out with concussion, and then the 3rd kid went out. So they shortened the game to 5 minutes of each quarter, third and 4th quarter with running clocks. It still was 29-0. Then this weekend our biddies played at Washington. I believe the 3rd and 4th lost, and the 5th and 6th won. All right, so that's kind of our update on where we're at with all our lower level scores in teams.
All right. Now, of course, you might notice we have different surroundings here tonight. Last week we were at one of our fine sponsors, and this week we're at Southern Ohio Monument Company. We'll talk with Doug Hayburn coming up here in just a matter of moments, more about what he does here at this location on East Main Street in Chillicothe. We'll continue with the Cavalier Coach's Corner in just a moment. We want to thank again Southern Ohio Monument Company on East Main Street here in Chillicothe for opening up their doors to us tonight. And Doug Hayburn is the proprietor here, and thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
You're welcome.
We were just joking off the air just a little bit ago about the fact that this location used to be over there, but not very far of it.
After 26 years, I moved 110 feet uptown.
Yeah, and truly uptown. Talk about the service that you provide to our community, because it stretches beyond Chillicothe.
Yeah, we're servicing all the way into Kentucky and West Virginia out of this one location up into Franklin County, all the way up as far as Upper Sandusky and around. So we're covering quite an area, and with the weather that we've had, it's made it tough.
Yeah, I bet. I know it's got to be a difficult time for anyone if they have a passing of a loved one to think about this portion of it, the marker. However, you can really go into some great detail with these markers now.
Oh yeah, we've got people that not only do their images on there, they'll do a picture of their home, they'll do a picture of things that they've collected, cars, whatever it might be, to try to just tell a little bit about them if somebody walks up in the cemetery and sees this stone.
Yeah, and we've gone around to cemeteries here in the last handful of years with passing friends and things of that sort, and the beauty there involved with the stones are just incredible.
Well, now the things has went from sandblast into the lasers, the water jets, the contour wear saws. I mean, they can basically do anything. They can saw out an image of you and completely laser etch it to where it looks like that you could stand there and talk to them.
Truly etched in stone.
Etched in stone.
Now, you don't go back far enough to have the old chisel in the hand, do you?
No, thank goodness it's tough enough as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it's the thing, people, it's a compassionate thing that people try to tweak the monument to tell as much about that person as they possibly can, so that people that does not or did not meet that person will know something about them.
And they come in a variety of sizes, don't they?
Oh yeah, I mean, you can do any size, shape. Now colors, there's 89 different colors of rock, so you can basically do anything you want to do.
Can you stain a rock?
Well, no, what they'll do, if for anything for the longevity, they'll inset different colors of rock in there because they know that'll be there permanent. There is a lithochrome that's done in the process of the laser etch that they can put the color back in and it will stay. They'll polish it back in, seal it in the rock, and it'll be there. I mean, I've had stones here in the local cemeteries now. Etching's been around about 22 years. Colored etching has come around in the last 15 years, and it still looks just as good as the day we put it in.
Yeah, I find it amazing because when you visit a graveyard, you see all types of markers that, especially sandstone or limestone back in the old days. And then you see ones, like you say, just in the last 20 years, they look like they were just placed there.
Yeah, it's the thing, big difference between granite and marble. Marble's just 20 times softer than what granite is, because you got to figure granite's the hardest substance in the world, all except a diamond, which is number one, what they used to cut it with.
Yeah.
So the old stones, I mean, they used softer material because they didn't have the water jets, the lasers, the contour bar saws and things to do what they do today, which is just unreal. I mean, there's nothing that you can't show them that they can't make.
And they are pretty heavyweight too. I mean,
oh yeah.
I took a rock about this big out of my creek one time, and it was like 400 pounds. The density is just so huge.
Oh, that's it. And I mean, the rock, one thing about it, it's hard and heavy. One person said, how do you keep them from stealing these things? I said, well, if they take it, I don't want to catch them anyway.
Yeah. The Incredible Hulk comes by, picks it up, and takes off with it. For someone who has not planned ahead, and I know a lot of folks plan their funerals out now, should they stop in and talk to you in advance?
Yeah, we have people that come in that's thinking that they're going to retire from Gratfelder in 2 years or Kenworth, and they said, hey, you know, we realize that a funeral is going to be a big expense, the monument, so I want to know how much this is, so while I'm working, I can plan on overtime to pay for this so we don't have this big expense after I retire, and we don't leave it for our kids to have to deal with. That way we can do what we want, and we're thinking with this rather than them thinking with this.
Yeah, that changes the whole ballgame, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. We often think of monuments for grave markings, but what about statues and things of that sort? Do you?
Oh yeah, I mean, we've done things. We've done the Daytona 200 motorcycle monument in Daytona, Florida. It's on Oceanfront Park. You can find it on the internet. We made that monument for them. We've made several civic monuments. We done at Rickenbacker Air Force Base, the Lima Company memorial, that there was locals that was involved in that lost their lives, and we done that. We've done things at Wright Pat, all over. I mean, people don't even think of it at the prisons. I mean, we've done war memorials there. Yeah, people make memorial benches for their backyard, for their loved one to put out in the garden. So they can use, there's a lot of uses. People make fountains to put out in their backyard with the revolving ball out of granite, and so it's just used in lots of applications anymore.
How can people get a hold of you?
Well, one thing about it, they can find me here Monday through Friday from 8 till 5, and then on Saturdays from 8 till 1. And 90% of the time I'm in here because I have to spend it in here rather than out in the cemetery where I'd rather be, to be out in the sunshine. But it is what it is. You have to be here.
And of course, you can't miss us right next to the car wash. Which
Yeah,
is
the
bright
new
red
Goo Goo Car
yellow.
Wash. Yeah.
Yeah. So stop by and see Southern Ohio Monument Company for all of your needs. When you're thinking about making a lasting impression, this is a place to make sure you stop. Thank you so much, Doug.
All right, thank you.
We'll continue in just a moment with the Cavalier Coaches Corner.
Young's Family Market is family owned and operated. M.L. Young founded the grocery store in 1936, and now a second generation of Youngs, Brad, Susan, and their children now operate the business. To also serve the surrounding area, the Youngs opened a second location in Kingston, Ohio back in 2014, making shopping easy by offering everything you need, including beer and wine, all under one roof. No more running all over town making numerous stops to get everything on your list. Instead, visit our store and find it all. We offer fresh, high-quality products for affordable prices. It's the Young's Family Market, serving the Laurelville, Ohio community for more than 60 years.
Hi, I'm Angie with ATI Physical Therapy located in Chillicothe. If pain or injury prevent you from doing what you love, let ATI Physical Therapy get you back. Whether it's back to work or back to your play, ATI's energetic and motivating team is ready to help you begin your road to recovery. We will craft a personalized treatment plan incorporating the appropriate techniques for your condition. Stop by our Chillicothe location for a complimentary injury screening or visit atipt.com for a location near you.
Southern Ohio Monument Company believes remembering a loved one after they're gone can be as personalized as when they were here. With over 400 in-stock monuments to choose from, there are shapes and sizes to match nearly everyone's personality, helping your loved one make a lasting impression. Southern Ohio Monument Company on East Main Street in downtown Chillicothe. Open weekdays 8 to 5 and Saturdays 8 to 1. Southern Ohio Monument Company, proud sponsor of the Cavaliers.
Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing in Central Center can customize t-shirts, banners, posters, vinyl lettering for your car or truck, and they can embroider logos for your school or business. It's time to show your team's spirit. And from Adina to Zane Trace, Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing has all the team colors. And of course, your Chillicothe Cavalier blue and white. So stop on into the shop in Central Center and see for yourself. Or visit Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing online and place your order today.
Welcome back again on the Cavalier Coaches Corner, and our featured coach this week is Eddie Johnson. And you've been on the staff for how long now, Eddie?
This is my third year.
Third year. You, of course, we mentioned Amanda Clear Creek a while ago. You are an AC alumnus, right?
Yep.
Played for Coach Hinton.
Yeah, his last year up, but Amanda was my senior year.
And that left such an impression upon you, you decided to get into coaching, huh?
Yep. He's one of the reasons why I became a coach and a teacher.
So what was that last season like with Coach Hinton?
Well, one, I didn't know it was going to be his last season. So, but playing for Coach Hinton is exciting because you're playing for a Hall of Famer. He demands a lot, and he does more than just coach football. I mean, he's like a dad to you. He cares about you. But it's a lot of fun playing for Coach Hinton. Yes, he yells a lot, rips and snorts, but he is a great guy and a great coach. And that's the kind of people you want to play for. I mean, you want to play for a guy that expects excellence.
Yeah. And was Coach Art there that last year?
No, he was at Reynoldsburg at the time.
So you didn't have the opportunity to be around him as a player. No. But now as a coach, you see how these two are yin and yang.
Right, yeah. Yeah, they play off one another. Coach Art's a lot of fun to be around. I've learned a lot from him over the past 3 years. I used to think he was really mean because I had him as a teacher my freshman year before he left. But he's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
So
I've noticed teachers change after you become adults.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, pretty incredible. Of course, kids will probably say the same thing about you one of these days.
Maybe. Hopefully.
We hope. Right?
Hopefully, yeah.
Last we talked, you were at the middle school as a teacher?
Yeah, I'm still 8th grade math.
8th grade math.
Yep.
How are our students looking?
Good. Yeah, this year is actually a lot better. The kids are well behaved and seem to be, I don't know if it's the time change, they seem to be more awake because we went from classes starting at 7:30 to 8:40 now. Yeah. Now, I don't like the day ending at 3:35, but because it makes practice go later. But the kids seem to be more awake and seem to be more with it. So I think it's a good change.
Has that been a good change for you?
Yeah, it's not too bad. I get a little extra sleep then.
Yeah.
So
Back when I was in high school, Tays Valley was on split session, so that first bell was at 7 o'clock. So I know what that was like.
Yeah.
You know. But middle school went at noon, so that was cool too. Enjoyed that. Let's talk about the lines, because you coach both offense and defensive lines. We've visited with Casey Crawford, Pat Rourke. Those two guys have come along. Pat has just been an outstanding member of this football team from day one this year, for sure.
Right, absolutely. First, to talk about the defensive line, I give all the credit to Nate Strange. Nate Strange coached the offensive line or defensive line the past couple of years while I've been here, and then he was unable to coach this year. And so I'm just doing the same drills that he did, pretty much just polishing them up. I mean, everything that they've learned is from Nate Strange. So, I mean, I'm just reinforcing what he told them, and kids are making some great plays. I mean, Pat Rourke's made the transition from linebacker to D-line, which I didn't know he'd be this big of an impact, which it's awesome. I mean, to see the way he plays down there and the way he controls the offensive front is tremendous. I mean, it's awesome.
And did he not play at center?
Yeah,
as a sophomore.
Yeah, he played offensive line and linebacker as a sophomore, and he was our second or third guy in last year.
So pretty versatile kid.
Right.
Offensive line, you go in week and week out. Probably one of the smaller lines that you'll see on a Friday night.
But I've been saying it since last year. We have pretty much a senior offensive line, which is what I've always wanted. I mean, you got the experienced guys then, with Nick Ursland, Casey Crawford played for 2 or 3 years, Bryce Valentine's a returning starter, and then Bradley Reinhardt's a returning starter. So they know the flow of the game. And then we got Caleb Workman and Ray Byers that have stepped up and have filled a big role in there. I've gotten better each week. But coaching all these seniors, I mean, I'm going to miss them. They're a lot of fun to coach. They're easy to get along with. They listen, and they work hard. And what I talk to them all year is about family. You got to care about your guy to your right, guy to your left. Those are your brothers. You got to look out for each other when you're on that football field. And they've really owned up to it and took ownership of the offensive line.
I fear of this, but I see a blubbering coach at awards night this year for that senior offensive line.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss them. They were sophomores when I first got down here, and some of them we butted heads a little bit when I first got down here, but we get along pretty good now. Other than a couple of times that we get into it on a Friday night, but it's a lot of fun.
How has your role changed over the last 3 years?
So when I first got down here, I got so it'd been 2016. I got down here by July. I got hired on as a teacher, and Coach Hen brought me on staff, which was very appreciative of, and I helped him with the offensive line, coach the H-backs. And then the next year, he actually gave me a bigger role with the offensive line, which was pretty cool. And that's pretty much what I ran last year was offensive line. I helped a little bit with the defensive line. And then this year when Nate Strange was unable to coach, they had me both coaching offense and defensive line. So I've taken on a major role this year. Stressful at times because I've got Coach Hinton yelling at me when we're on offensive practice, and then usually get a little break. Nope, then I go to defense and I got Coach Arndt yelling at me. So it's just 3 hours of just getting chewed. But it's a lot of fun. I laugh about it, but yeah, it's just like when I was playing for him back in high school. Yeah. So
one role that he did not bring up was this past weekend. You were helping with the cheerleading staff. Nancy Arledge, by the way, it's been obvious she's had some medical situations she's going through, and so she is really off of her feet right now. But you were designated as the cheerleading coach for the weekend.
I was the advisor. She was unable to be there, and her 2 assistants had to work, so I told her, well, you go to your plans you had, I'll help you out. And our AD was really cool with this. As long as you're going to be there, I said, yeah, I'll be there for the JV game. So I told her I'd help her out. So it was a lot of fun.
So what was your favorite cheer?
It's great to be a Cavalier.
There you go. I like that. When we visited with B.J. Adams last week, we talked about him being engaged. Anything new in that front for you?
No. Nope.
No?
Single bird.
Single bird?
Yep.
Ready to make it happen.
Right.
One of these days.
Right. One of these days. I ain't close to that.
We're not going
Engagement
to let
stuff.
him leave the nest too soon, though. We've got some more work to do. McLean Tigers this weekend, and we'll talk about that more in depth in just a moment. You've been visiting with Mr. Eddie Johnson here on the Cavalier Coaches Corner.
Hi, I'm Angie with ATI Physical Therapy located in Chillicothe. If pain or injury prevent you from doing what you love, but ATI Physical Therapy gets you back. Whether it's back to work or back to your play, ATI's energetic and motivating team is ready to help you begin your road to recovery. We will craft a personalized treatment plan incorporating the appropriate techniques for your condition. Stop by our Chillicothe location for a complimentary injury screening or visit atipt.com for a location near you.
Southern Ohio Monument Company believes remembering a loved one after they're gone can be as personalized as when they were here. With over 400 in-stock monuments to choose from, there are shapes and sizes to match nearly everyone's personality, helping your loved one make a lasting impression. Southern Ohio Monument Company on East Main Street in downtown Chillicothe. Open weekdays 8 to 5 and Saturdays 8 to 1. Southern Ohio Monument Company, proud sponsor of the Cavaliers.
Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing in Central Center can customize t-shirts, banners, posters, vinyl lettering for your car or truck, and they can embroider logos for your school or business. It's time to show your team's spirit. And from Adina to Zane Trace, Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing has all the team colors. And of course, your Chillicothe Cavalier blue and white. So stop on into the shop in Central Center and see for yourself. Or visit Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing online and place your order today.
Kingston National Bank was founded in 1909 by local businessmen. The concept of a local bank supporting our community's financial needs with local decisions made sense. This is Phil Evans, President and CEO of Kingston National Bank. I invite you to make KNB your bank. We continue to make local decisions that benefit our communities. Experience innovative products and excellent customer service. When you need us most, you can count on KNB. Our community, your bank. Kingston National Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Young's Family Market is family-owned and operated. M.L. Young founded the grocery store in 1936, and now a second generation of Youngs, Brad, Susan, and their children now operate the business. To also serve the surrounding area, the Youngs opened a second location in Kingston, Ohio back in 2014, making shopping easy by offering everything you need, including beer and wine, all under one roof. No more running all over town making numerous stops to get everything on your list. Instead, visit our store and find it all. We offer fresh, high-quality products for affordable prices. It's the Young's Family Market, serving the Laurelville, Ohio community for more than 60 years.
Time to catch up with our Cavalier players, and we've got three of them with us here tonight. We've got Casey Crawford, also McKellen Lee, and Pat Rourke. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. And I'm going to start with Casey here. Let's talk about this football season so far. Here you go in and you'll find yourself in a situation, you got Hillsboro, and it's a heavyweight bout. What was that like Friday night?
Well, since I play primarily just D-line and O-line now, it's a lot. I see a lot in the trenches, so I mean it's a very physical game. I had to block number 70 a lot, and he was a big man, but it was pretty fun. It was crazy how we just rallied together and got the victory. To win, they're pretty good.
As a smaller lineman, how do you take on the bigger guy?
It's all technique.
All technique and leverage?
Yep. I mean, I'm not going to block him this strength because, all it takes for me to go high and they're just going to knock me right over. We practice that a lot since I'm less than 200 pounds and just about everybody I block is well over 200 pounds. I have to really stay low and get into their hips.
You're the underdog every week.
Basically.
Yeah. But so far have been victorious. 6 pancakes, I think, this week, right?
This week, yeah.
He's got a stack of them growing there. McKellen Lee, At the position you play, you don't get a whole lot of pancake opportunities, though, do you?
No, not at all.
But you'll put them away on Saturday mornings, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell folks what positions you play, because I know that you on defense are usually on a corner somewhere, but offensively you usually have a ball in your hands.
Yeah, offensively I play running back, and defense I play safety. But this week I've been going at the H position to give Cortland Duncan a break, so he can replace Zach, who went down last week at Hillsborough. He's going to be out at X this week.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. We'll hear more about that with Coach Ron Hinton a little bit later on. McKellen, talk to us what it's like making the adjustment. We've had a chance to see you on Friday nights late in the ball game when you were younger, and now here you are, an upperclassman, and getting some major time.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a big change. You're in there at trash time, what they call it, and the game's kind of slowed down, and then you get in there at prime time, and it's a whole different animal. The game's a lot faster, more physical, and everything you do counts. Every play you're in, it matters.
And for seniors right now, there's just 4 regular season weeks remaining. Man, the season goes by quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, hard to believe. Pat, let's talk about this guy. His name gets mentioned every play, it seems. And I know that you've been on the Monroe's big collision a time or two this year already on the radio. Talk about what it's like to have been a Cavalier this year.
Oh, it's been very fun. We've had a good season. We've played together as a team for a whole year, it seems like.
And he's another one of these linemen, too.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to guess you go about 200 pounds.
About 230.
230. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I was being polite. So, like Casey's under 200 pounds. You've got a little more girth about you to be able to go at him.
Yeah.
Are you on the what would be considered in the Jeff Arndt scheme of things, the middle guard?
I'm the defensive tackle.
Okay.
So I'm beside the guard, and I go to the weak side of the field. Usually I line up at 3 or an I-4 or 4. And so it's either with the offensive guard or the offensive tackle.
And are you mostly offense or defense?
I'm all defense.
All defense. How does it feel? I mean, do you have like extra stamina by playing just one way?
Yeah, I do. I did. A few weeks ago I was on some special teams, but yeah, I have extra stamina.
Yeah.
I don't get as tired as some of the people that go both ways, like Casey. And
I was going to say, how would you guys like to be able to go one way?
I primarily do. I mean, I only go in for calling whenever he needs a break or has a temper tantrum or something.
If you went one way, do you have a choice?
I'd prefer defense probably, but the team needs to be more on offense. So.
Yeah. What about you, McCollum?
I probably prefer defense.
I think a lot of people like the defensive side because they get the chance to hit as opposed to take the hits. However, on offense, if you're a good running back, you're given the hits when they come up to hit you, right? Yeah. Let's take a moment to visit about school, see how things are going there. Here you are, 5-6 weeks into the school year, close to that. Got a favorite subject that you're studying right now?
Right now I'm taking a class through Pickaway Ross. It's engineering and robotics, so it's fun. It's only a half day, so I get to take my core classes still at CHS, which is nice. It's not like the normal classes out there like electrical and welding. So I get to be around my buddies from sports still.
And working in robotics, it's almost like getting a grade to play.
Yeah, I get to move the robots, control them, and we're learning about them still. It's fun.
What about you, McCall?
I take a sports medicine class up at OUC. That's probably my favorite class of the day. It's 2 hours in the morning, then I go back to CHS for my core classes like Patrick.
What's that like to not be on CHS campus all day? I mean, you go and you're kind of rubbing elbows with the college kids.
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's my first year doing it, but it's fun. It's something different every day and not what I'm usually used to.
Casey?
I'd say probably my Spanish classes. I take a couple of them. I really like Spanish, and it's just more fun. Yeah.
Now you say a couple of Spanish classes.
Yeah.
What's the distinguishment between the two?
They're actually literally the same exact class. I needed 5 credits to play football, and I didn't want to take AP Literature, so I took a second Spanish class, which my Spanish teacher was totally cool with.
So do you get 2 grades?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
My first one is homeroom, first period, and then I have Spanish again, 5th period. So yeah, I've been taking Spanish ever since 8th grade, so yeah, it's pretty cool.
So how well versed are you in Spanish?
I actually got the seal by literacy last year,
Ah.
so I'm bilingual. Pretty cool.
How about that? So if Adrian Beverly ever decides to shout out signals in Spanish, you're good, right?
I got it.
Okay, he's ahead of the game. And that will serve you down the road as well.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of folks that have grown up in Spanish-American homes, they have not picked up that language.
Yeah. I'm willing to go into the medical field, so it'll help a ton, because like, especially when there's patients that only speak Spanish and don't know English,
Right.
you can help them out. Like there's programs like through hospitals, they'll like pay some like your student loans and stuff if you know Spanish.
Yeah. Now, do you plan to be a doctor or? Okay. What about you, McCollum? Do you have your future plotted out yet?
Not quite, but I think I want to do physical therapy after high school.
Yeah. And Mr. Robot?
I'm not sure yet, but with the class I'm taking, I'm like going towards engineering. I think leaning towards there.
Yeah, very cool. These are all good fields to jump into, and they also will pay. We like that too. Guys, got to ask you what your night out of the town would be like. If you're hanging out with your girlfriend, or you're just going out with the guys, what's your favorite thing you like to do?
I like to go out to eat. I go to Roosters a lot with my brother and his friends. I hang out with them a lot.
Yeah. McCallum?
Yeah, about the same thing. Go out to eat, just be with my friends, or watch a football game.
I just like hanging out. It doesn't really matter what we do, whether it's fishing or going out to eat or something like that.
Food is usually involved, though, right?
Yeah, why not?
And mind your P's and Q's, guys, because it'll stick with you as you age.
That's all good.
All right, you got Greenfield this week. It's your final road game of the regular season. What are your thoughts about heading into Greenfield?
You gotta respect them. I mean, in past years, we've gotten pretty decisive victories over them, but I mean they've won 2 games in a row, so I mean they're obviously able to win. So we just gotta respect it and make sure they don't like try to come out and take a game from us.
Yeah, and going on the road for that final time, it'll be nice to be able to have that one last bus trip, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Do you get to ride on the first bus or the second bus?
I think we're all 3 on the first bus.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Coach has talked a lot here the last few weeks about the separate buses you've had to take because of departure times and all. And playing on grass for a final time, that's got to be big, especially for linemen.
Yeah, like set your foot differently, and it's different for sure. Getting a lot dirtier is nice.
Yeah. But after this week, there's no place like home, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then 3 straight at the DO. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck against McLean. Let's bring home another win.
Thank you.
All right, Casey Crawford, McCallum Lee, and Pat Rourke. We'll be back in just a bit.
Southern Ohio Monument Company believes remembering a loved one after they're gone can be as personalized as when they were here. With over 400 in-stock monuments to choose from, there are shapes and sizes to match nearly everyone's personality, helping your loved one make a lasting impression. Southern Ohio Monument Company on East Main Street in downtown Chillicothe. Open weekdays 8 to 5 and Saturdays 8 to 1. Southern Ohio Monument Company, proud sponsor of the Cavaliers.
Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing in Central Center can customize t-shirts, banners, posters, vinyl lettering for your car or truck, and they can embroider logos for your school or business. It's time to show your team spirit. And from Adina to Zane Trace, Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing has all the team colors. And of course, your Chillicothe Cavalier blue and white. So stop on into the shop in Central Center and see for yourself. Or visit Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing online and place your order today.
Kingston National Bank was founded in 1909 by local businessmen. The concept of a local bank supporting our community's financial needs with local decisions made sense. This is Phil Evans, President and CEO of Kingston National Bank. I invite you to make KNB your bank. We continue to make local decisions that benefit our communities. Experience innovative products and excellent customer service. When you need us most, you can count on KNB, our community, your bank. Kingston National Bank, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Young's Family Market is family owned and operated. M.L. Young founded the grocery store in 1936, and now a second generation of Youngs, Brad, Susan, and their children now operate the business. To also serve the surrounding area, the Youngs opened a second location in Kingston, Ohio back in 2014, making shopping easy by offering everything you need, including beer and wine, all under one roof. No more running all over town making numerous stops to get everything on your list. Instead, visit our store and find it all. We offer fresh, high-quality products for affordable prices. It's the Young's Family Market, serving the Laurelville, Ohio community for more than 60 years.
Hi, I'm Angie with ATI Physical Therapy located in Chillicothe. If pain or injury prevent you from doing what you love, let ATI Physical Therapy get you back. Whether it's back to work or back to your play, ATI's energetic and motivating team is ready to help you begin your road to recovery. We will craft a personalized treatment plan incorporating the appropriate techniques for your condition. Stop by our Chillicothe location for a complimentary injury screening or visit atipt.com for a location near you.
It's been a number of years since we've been able to say this. Probably back 1927, 1928, that McLean is tied with Chillicothe for the league lead. They were charter members of the old SCOL, and now together as the Frontier Athletic Conference, McLean comes in with 2 wins on the season. And Coach, we're familiar with the coaching staff at McLean, just to the fact that part of them has been part of the Cavalier family.
Correct. I got to step back a minute though. That I've got to congratulate Tom. That this is the second or first time that him and Murph, they didn't go across the bridge and blow a tire, break the trailer down.
Well, some mechanical
difficulties there. So Tom, those guys had a successful run with no problems.
No problem.
Didn't lose any fenders. No tires. When that there, right, Tom?
Exactly.
Right.
No loss, get lost.
Right. The only thing is, Tom was very good though. He flagged the people down. They stopped for him now. You know, he was very good. He's very good about that. And then Coach Johnson is, the movie, the 27 Dresses. For the person who, Coach Johnson has at least 27 suits he wears for all the weddings he is in. He doesn't come in summer stuff, misses so much practice or time in summer because I have a wedding to go to. I have reception I have to go to. And it's always on, and when next one's coming up here soon again, isn't it?
We got one Saturday.
See? He's going to miss practice, going to miss workout or meetings on Saturday because he's got another wedding to go to.
You were trying to get him married off, and turns out he's a wedding crasher.
Yes, so you.
It's a lot more fun to be a wedding crasher.
When you asked that question, I thought, okay, we'll bring this up. He all these different hats that he wears with all these different best mans and all part of these different things. And in the last 2 years, probably this is 10 or 12.
Yeah,
at least maybe more.
Probably 10. Mm-hmm. Just 6 this year.
Yeah.
He can't afford to get married. He's buying all these gifts.
All right. I'm sorry. I had to interject that. I thought that was very good. We could laugh about that one.
So much for the well-professional, rehearsed opening to the segment here. But McLean Tigers, they are coached by Jake Orzodi, who was your quarterback's coach just a handful of seasons ago. Howard Zodi is someone we're very familiar with. He's a former Adina football coach. He's been on the staff at McLean for a handful of years, and Jake's been there last handful of years too.
Yes, well, it's amazing. Jake talked to me every week, but this week, I said, Jake, sorry that this is no conversation this week. All right, but I usually wish him luck, congratulate him, and we converse with different things, throughout. But we told week 7 that kid gloves are off now. You're an opponent this time. But Jake will do a good job. He has done a good job. I mean, you see fundamentals are better there. To win 2 games is huge for them. The big win they had last week against Miami Trace, to come back and win and hold on 47-40 was still a great win for him. But also then, he's run our old offensive we call red, blue, green, which is from the midline inside veer to outside veer, which we're familiar with. Defensively, basically, pretty much carbon copy of who we are, what we are. Coverages, the things. I'm sure the calls are still probably pretty close. We have to get on Coach Strange because he spent too much. He went over and helped Coach Zodi this year. Of course, all terminology would be the same, and that there. And then Jake's around a lot with Coach Art and I. When we host our winter meetings, our winter clinics and stuff. He's with us quite a bit to do those things. So I'm sure Jake will have his kids fired up. Coach Art made a good point this week. Brought up that guys, we're the defending champions. The bullseye's on our backs. So no matter what you do, you're always going to get the best of what somebody's going to give you because they're going to play their best against you because they're going to go out and they're going to compete hard and they want to compete against the best. So we're not going to face a team that's to make a lot of mistakes or kind of lay down. They're going to play hard. All right, and so we see a lot of things that Jake's doing. I think it was a good hire on their part. The thing is, I said, Jake, you win all the games you want. The only thing is, you cannot beat Coach Art and I. Sorry, that's just you're not allowed to do that. You compete with us, but you can't beat us.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a taboo. Now once we stop coaching. Now all bets are off. You can, whatever. But as long as we're at Chillicothe, you can't beat us. Sorry, and that's just something you have to relinquish and not allow it happen. But fine young man, great family. With that there. So they're playing well. They have a lot of starters returning. They have 6-pack returning starters, offense or defensively. They have 6 two-way players. They're playing a lot of kids 2 ways. Coach Johnson, they have how many returning offense?
8 returning stars on offense.
Offense, yes. So they have a big, and he made a good move last week. We thought it was, but the quarterback got hurt. We don't know, but he moved on his receivers to quarterback, and all of a sudden the offense just exploded. Just made some great plays, he did a great job in that, and that's how they scored 47 points against Miami Trace last week. I'm sure the feelings are good over there. The high steps, in that there, and we have to go over and take care of business, play hard, and do the things we have to do. But we're going, I said, a little short-handed with the way we're dinged up, with our injuries and things that we have. So we're going to have to play. A lot of young kids are getting a lot of special roles this week for preparation, for that. And then also we got to be careful we don't burn our kids out. Coach Arne have a rule that we burnt one great team out we had back in the 90s. We burned them out because too many. One more big game. We got to go over it. We've got 2 huge ones at the end of the year. We got to go over it, execute, play well, play hard. But we have to be careful of our emotions because now we've thrown a lot of emotions out the last 3 weeks with Hartley, Logan, backdoor rival, and then Hillsborough had to be a huge game, to win that because that was a heavyweight battle, with that. So.
And on McLean's side, they're looking at, hey, this might be the best chance against the Cavaliers. Plus, they've got a lot of confidence coming off of a win.
Correct. So they have good size. I mean, here's 250, 230, 230, 265, 225. We don't post those numbers. They're a little bigger on the offensive side of the ball, but Coach Johnson's got there. But they'll play our 5-man front. They'll play a 5-2 with a 4-D. We go spread. They'll go to a 4-2, 4-2, almost really a 4-4 with that and things. So we're basically mirroring ourselves. So it's not hard for us to call defenses. It is hard for us to prepare defensively against them because our kids do not practice nor see this kind of offense. But the nice thing is, this is the third week in a row we're going to see it now. Now, Hillsborough last week was really less option. Till late in the game, they ran a little bit of midline against us, but less option than what they have been. They're just more just power counter pitch is what they were. But this week he's going to be pretty much. I don't think they can power us, knock us down the way Hillsborough and Hartley did. If they do it, it's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night for us. To be option sound, their fullback is explosive. Their quarterback has shown he can run the ball. It's such an assignment. Our defense has to be so assignment sound that we have to be careful with that. But the biggest thing is, again, if we move the ball, we controlled the ball against Hillsborough last week. Offense controlled the ball, all right? But we control the ball, we control field position, we score points. Those are all pluses for the defensive side of the ball, all right? With that there. So those are things we've got to do. We've got to block them. We've got to execute. And again, this is 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row now. 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row, we've not put the ball on the ground. I say that, and, ball be flying, but
he's knocking on granite.
Yes.
On this table.
Yes, but anyhow, so we don't put the ball on the ground. We don't beat ourselves. All right, go out and then execute with that. So I'll let Coach Johnson talk about their offense a little bit because it's good. It's kind of tough for us. This week we're practicing game without a football.
Yeah. And when we look at this, and you mentioned they have 8 starters back on offense, that makes me believe that they've probably got a lot more continuity compared to last year.
Yeah, and big thing is they returned 4 guys up front. That's experience that you already have. And their biggest coach since, they got 2 tackles that are above 250. One kid's 325. Those are sizes that we don't play every week. And then their quarterback that they switched there has big playability off the option. And then the fullback, which also plays middle guard, is quick off the football. He's just flat out quick. And then 22, which is 6'3", 195, big kid. Has pretty good wheels, plays running back for him. Comes off the counter pretty well for him and pit toss sweep. But like Coach Hinton said, we just have to be assignment sound. Last week, they had 2 big backs. They don't have those big backs that Hillsborough had. They are fast, and their line is, at least from last year, seems to be more technique sound. Knows their assignments a little bit more, and seems to be in the right position. So as long as our defensive line, because I coach defensive line, they gotta play on their side of the football. If they push us back, it's gonna be a long night. If we push them back and make the running back, quarterback bounce it, belly back a little bit, give our linebackers time to flow, it's going to be a good night for our defense.
Got a feeling some of these big Husky fellas might have FFA next to the side of their names as well, because it may be Greenfield Village, but the exempted school district takes in some county kids. So there's got to be some farmers on there.
Correct.
So, any predictions?
Well, we got to go win. You can't. Our goal is to be 6-1. Our goal is to go 2-0. All right. Now there'll be one less team in the top because 2 top teams are playing each other. All right. So that'll be huge. We also have to be careful we stay healthy. Let's say with the things we had last week, Cortland Duncan's going to win with the hip pointer. And it's going to be, he's a hit away from having to come out because that's a painful injury. Mm-hmm. Christian Benson is still fighting sore ribs. One of those things we really haven't had a chance to rest him because of the fact that how competitive our schedule is. All right. Of course, Zach is probably going to be out with a knee injury. All right. From that, Pat Rourke is still hobbling on an ankle injury from 2 weeks ago. Tyson Etter, I think, will be cleared this week. He didn't play last week because of a concussion protocol from Logan game. I think he's going to be cleared and ready to go. I think we'll get Joel Barnes back, some special teams. He may have to play some offensively. He's been out for 3 weeks with a concussion protocol. So we're, postage. We got to get Chris healed up because he's taking some poundings in there. Get his ankles straightened up, get him going. So you see our list, our list is quite long. We've been very successful, but now we're down to a 4-game schedule. Our seniors, are it's quickly counting down. It's hard to believe that we're in week 7 already. All right. The nice thing is also they're carrying, the first time in several years, they're carrying playoff points, because usually by this time they're over. Mm-hmm. All right. Now they have 2 wins, which is good for us. I mean, we scored like almost 45 points last week. That's why we made a jump, with the victory over Hillsborough. Yeah. But they're carrying some points, which will be plus for us, on the playoff side. So like I said, we can't get to 9-1 without being 6-1. I gotta say kudos to my staff. My staff did a great job. Jimmy Skinner was in last week and watched the game. And why he came up, I don't know. He came up and watched us play. I guess he's getting the itch to take my job, which is okay with me, I guess. But he came up and watched us play. He made a comment. He was very impressed with how well our staff, the knowledge, and how we conducted ourselves throughout the game, and with adjustments during the game, and and things like that. And he was very impressed with our staff to do that. Congratulate Coach Arndt and his defensive staff. Even though they give up 30 and 400 yards, they still hung in there. And we, again, it's like Rocky in the beginning with, we got knocked down several times, but we got back up. Okay, and we kept battling. So I'm just so pleased with our kids on where, how far they've come and what they've done. All right, our special teams got to keep playing well, coverage, no mistakes. Our kickers, Jacob Coughlin and Matt Deddy, have done an excellent job at putting the ball where we want and those things. So we're going to Greenfield, our last road game finally after a month on the road. All right, we take 2 buses. One goes at 4 o'clock. One comes at 4:20, 4:30. Our guys in the locker room, half's on the field, half comes in, half goes out. We get more back into a sync or a normal routine, I guess you per se with that, and we get after it. But again, these kids, Amanda was worried about adversity. These kids seem to strive on adversity. We made hopefully our last practice on the baseball diamond this year, because all the soccer games we have to go to the baseball diamond practice. Those things. But they seem like they don't really budge. They just keep coming back, keep going.
Well, if anything, hearing the medical report this week, Tom, get those tapes on the ankles and get that leather helmet ready to go. Lisa's
been very busy. Matter of fact, we signed Coach Johnson tonight in the coaches meeting that he has to make sure he's taking care of substitutions, because we're pulling so many. Coach Crabtree's trying to call special team stuff, but he has kids off the field that thought was on there. So we have to be very careful to make sure that we don't make a mistake and not have enough people on the field and not in the right places, and coach them up like that.
Before we wrap things up, can we I want to take this off and show folks this granite countertop that we have here on the table. This is the type of stoneware that you'll find when you stop here at Southern Ohio Monument Company. And of course, you can see many of the markers that we have right behind us. And these stones, we're told, don't come just from Vermont. They come from all over the world, including China, India, and other places of that sort. So if you want to find out more, just make sure you contact Doug at, again, Southern Ohio Monument Company, and right here on East Main Street in downtown Chillicothe. That's going to do it for the show this week as the Cavaliers get ready. And we've got candy wrappers being thrown out. Oh, nice shot.
Nice.
Coach got dinged. You ever had that happen before?
No, that's okay.
Not on camera.
I guess that's a cue to quit it.
I think he was shooting for the pie hole. For Eddie Johnson, for Cavalier Tom McClaskey, and of course for Coach Ron Hinton, I'm Dan Ramey. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. And again, one thing left to say, and that's
Go Cavs!